Now, I've had my fair share of run-ins with angry journos who can handle having their terrible ideas exposed and picked apart by, I don't know, logic, reason, things like that. Most of the time, I ignore these people. But if you know anything about my past, let's say around Gen Con, I've learned that perhaps I'm extra sensitive to people's veiled threats because, well, things happened in regards to someone else who was equally as unhinged and didn't know how to use their big boy words and decided to act like a child. Of course, that didn't end up very good for them. However, it could have ended up quite bad for me. You just don't know. The fact of the matter is, you can't understate the number of examples of unhinged people who say absurd things on places like Twitter, who go out in real life and do terrible things. There are far too many examples to just ignore these people anymore. And this guy is a journalist for Polygon and IGN, and I've never really read anything by him that I thought was particularly well investigated. They're always op-eds, which if I wanted the opinion of a journalist, I'd just go kick rocks. But nonetheless, he got my attention a few months ago, I would say, back in January, about Call of Duty. This was one of the guys that was whinging on about white phosphorus, Willie Pete, in Modern Warfare, and how it was just such a travesty, and how if you accidentally deleted a baby in the video game, just what a travesty that was. It was nothing like real world combat, and boy, this fake video game was nothing like real life, and what a travesty that was. And we should censor it, and we should remove things from the game because my delicate feelings cannot be spared.
You know, it's a learning experience, but we didn't go around shooting, you know, civilians and babies in Iraq. That's not what we did. That's not what I did. So that isn't a accurate depiction of what it's like to be at war. Because at the end of the day, right? It's you know, it's not real. And I understand that. It's not real. And I understand that. It's not real. And I understand that. We didn't go around shooting, you know, civilians and babies in Iraq. That's not what we did. That's not what I did. So that isn't a accurate depiction of what it's like to be at war. It's not real. And I understand that. He's a walking contradiction.
Now, here's the thing. I want to be very clear. I have the utmost respect for those who have served this country, for people in the police force, firefighters, people that literally risk things in life, not people like me who just sit in the basement and bloviate on topics. However, I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay that, you know, there are a lot of people trying to accuse him of stolen valor, and I don't care about any of that stuff. And this has never been about that, so I don't want to steer the conversation in that direction. What I find interesting, though, and particularly disgusting, is he seems to always use his time in the service to shield himself from terrible takes. He'll say, I was in the service, censor this thing. He's done it several times, and it puts you in a weird spot where it's like, dude, like, I respect that you serve, but I don't respect that they're using it as a shield or as a vehicle to transport censorship. This is not what you know, people in the service have fought to protect since the beginning of time. All right, our Constitution is to be protected, but you know, this entire article is basically, you know, hey, I served. Listen to me about a fake video game, and we should remove this thing from the video game. Digital pixels. Won't somebody think of my digital pixels? And you can have, you know, a lot of times these people will have slippery takes where they're like, well, it's totally fine to have this or that, but this thing's too far. It's the same clowns that are saying, oh, Mac gamers are mad about removing 3 seconds in a 100-hour video game in Persona 5. Blah. It's gaslighting. It's a way to, they'll say, well, 99% of the game is the same, but it's just one thing. And, why are gamers mad? Gamers mad, bro. That's the exact take that this guy has had. Now, interestingly, Mr. Megative, or also known as John Phipps, who is currently headed to PAX, according to his profile, is hitting everyone up with the fight me in IRL. I mean, do I think he's like legitimately challenging me to fisticuffs? No. However, I do think that this is a cringe machismo threat, that the implication is undeniable, which is why he's gone on a deletion spree. Unfortunately for him, I learned a couple years ago that I need to archive everything, because you just never know when you're going to run into this guy and he's going to do something unhinged, and I want to have it. I don't think, if you're a viewer of mine, that you would... I think you understand why I'm like this. If you never had a complete stranger who disagrees with your opinions online due to you, what I had done, then I get why this might seem like a big deal, not a big deal to you, but it is to me. If you look at examples online, there are guys like him who do absurd things all the time. So he writes, jokes aside, I really don't like this because as someone who... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let's start at the beginning. Because it's a very interesting story. It starts with the censorship of Persona 5. He comes in with hot takes saying, meanwhile, you're throwing a tantrum because a few lines were changed in a 100+ hour game. Again, this is why he is the embodiment of the NPC meme. They all say the same stuff. Literally, go on Twitter and say, search up some random things like a small percentage in a huge game, or just look at what these NPCs are talking about with Persona 5. He goes on to say, seriously? Censorship is suppression of speech, not editing speech. Sorry, I know that you served, but you're a moron. Censorship absolutely, unequivocally does include editing speech. You're still changing it. If you're fixing a typo, you might have a case, but that's what these people do. They gaslight and they say like, you're the crazy one. You're the crazy one for wanting, forever questioning that this is just objectively better. There are 3 main types of censorship: political, religious, and corporate. Pay attention. Political censorship is the act of the government. I love it. Yes, we all can look at Wikipedia. That's Journo level of research there. Except you could see a lot of bruh replies. Again, you are, they're mincing words to try and make people, back off, But let's see what kind of replies they get. LMAO, you pile of yogurt and butt hair. You should make a video about it. Okay, well, you got your wish. I mean, these people, they think they've won when they must be secretly masochists. Is that the right word? People that, just really love getting made fun of, because then they go on and they say, I'm a victim. Please, everyone, protect me. And then it works for fellow NPCs. And here's the original threat, which he deleted. I wonder why he deleted it. Why did you delete this, John, Mr. Tough Guy? Lol, go cry about She-Ra. By the way, every time with these weirdos, isn't it? Like clockwork, they always bring up She-Ra, which only cements my opinion that I was 100% correct about it. You wouldn't say a GD thing to my face, in my presence, or anyone else you've made a video about. We both know it, so go make your video. What is the implication here? Why wouldn't I say it to your face? Are you implying that there's some sort of physical repercussions, I mean, I think it's absolutely fair to say that. It's cringe. It's low IQ. It's admitting you've lost the argument. But ultimately, here we go again. Now, another tweet he deleted, which I didn't archive. I'm still looking for it. I'm sure someone did. But the context matters and you can understand it. Attack you at PAX? I'm confident you won't say anything to me, but feel free to spend the conference hunting me down. I mean, again, he had deleted a tweet where he said, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, I'm at PAX all week, come find me. Again, what is the implication there? John, game journalist for Polygon, IGN. And then you see, of course, the virtue signal. Every time some dude tells me how bad they're going to beat me up at a gaming convention, I go ahead and spit my mouth guard out because I know it won't protect me. Dude, you were the one. You were the one saying this. You were the clown hitting everybody with a, say it to my face, tough guy. Say it to my face. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I dare ya. And then you see here, I gave my address out during peak of GG, and people who were threatening me never showed up. Not a single one. Am I the only one who still values the weight of a promise? And yet you won't give me your address. Again, this guy is a guy who has blocked and unblocked me several times on every time he puts out a hot take and I call him out on it, he just can't handle it. He just can't handle it. He's blocked me before, and he only put out this tweet after I called him out for it. Calls me some YouTube jerk off. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to like me. That's okay. You're going to keep putting out hot takes, and I'm going to continue to monetize them, and my fans are going to continue to laugh at you. Do I want you removed from PAX? Absolutely not. If I was there, I would be questioning. Maybe in and around PAX, I would have some protection because crazy people do crazy things. It's interesting to me. Then after he deletes these messages, he goes on to admit, jokes aside, I really don't like this because as someone who deals with chronic anger issues, I hate myself when I get angry. It's a battle I lose constantly. I've lost friends over it. Don't tell anyone that your anger is your strength. That's so irresponsible. So you admit you have anger management problems. You're out here online issuing veiled fight me in real life takes. You're pro censorship and you work for Polygon and IGN. Enjoy your visit to PAX. I hope you can rub shoulders with a bunch of other morons who are like-minded NPCs. But I'm going to continue to critique your steaming hot takes, and I hope that you get help for your anger management issues. Polygon and IGN journalist John Phipps. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.